Hey there, Breakfast Clubbers. I'm your host, Kelly Guentner of Phoenix Sisters Cosplay, and this show is part of Back of the Cereal Box Podcast Network. And this week, we're in for a treat. We're going to read the comic that got me into comics, or we're going to review it. This is Birds of Prey of Like Minds, aka the start of Gail Simone's run on Birds of Prey. Chuck Dixon really started the Birds of Prey series. And when Gail Simone came in, it really was like a breath of fresh air. Not that Chuck Dixon was doing a bad job. I absolutely loved his entire run. Even, some people might have been bored with it. I loved his entire run. But Gail Simone came in, and at the time when she came in, the sales were sagging a bit, so they brought in new blood and gave it kind of a soft reboot. At the time, Gail Simone was a little newer in the industry. She wasn't quite the powerhouse household name that she is now. This comic just, I feel like, put her on the map, but also she put Birds of Prey on the map. And so when you think of Birds of Prey, you really think of Gail Simone. At least I do, and most people I know do. She really built on what Chuck Dixon did. She didn't throw out what he did. What he did really well was he built this really strong partnership with Dinah and Babs that was just multi-layered and just had so much going on. And so Gail came in and she right away threw Huntress onto the team. And she didn't, and Huntress had collaborated with the team before as kind of this ally that was really tenuous because Huntress is a wild card. And that makes her a really exciting new addition to the team. I mean, I love Huntress, so I'm always excited to read Huntress. But in this book, it starts out with Black Canary goes up against this new supervillain, Savant. And he, as kind of like the title says, Savant is a genius and really, really good at a lot of the things he does, but he also has some shortcomings, and his shortcomings are like a lot of Gotham villains. He's got some mental illness struggles, and he has a struggle with time. So he struggles with knowing when events actually happened, whether it was 5 minutes ago or 10 years ago, or whether something actually happened. So he really struggles with that. Then you see his kind of right-hand man, Creote, who is the muscle, not that Savant quite needs it because he is a pretty master hand-to-hand combatant, and the two of them take Canary down and take her hostage and try to use her as leverage to get Oracle to give up Batman's secret identity because Savant's got past history with Batman and he wants to get back at him. Oracle reaches out to Huntress because Huntress and Canary actually have a good friendship because Canary is one of the few who believes in Huntress, which is a very Dinah thing, which I just love. I love that dynamic. Oracle sends Huntress to rescue Canary, and just the dynamics in this book are fantastic. Savant and Creote are really great new characters with multiple layers. There's just a lot to peel back there with those characters, and you just kind of scratch the surface here. One of my least favorite things is the art. Ed Benz is on art. We also have, Alex Lay and Rob Lee. So Alex Lay was the inker, John Workman was the letterer, Hi-Fi was a colorist. Ed Benz is very talented. He draws beautiful people. His cityscapes are just gorgeous. His clock tower is epic, but he has this thing. He goes a little heavy on the cheesecake art. Like you can see here, absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous characters, but almost every page has to have some butt and thighs in it. I get a little sick of my shots going through the character's legs. Here's another page that, again, like, I absolutely love this. Even though it's Huntress's butt. This is gorgeous, the glass shattering, everything. But again, like, every single page, it gets a little old. I like Cheesecake as much as the next Straight Girl, if not more, because some of my favorite characters have very cheesecakey outfits. I mean, look at them. I don't have a problem with these outfits. I don't have a problem with showing off the characters being sexy. I just get a little bored with so many butt and thigh shots. I don't know. So that gets a little old, but he is a talented artist. It's just not to my taste. If cheesecake is your thing, this is the book for you. And even if it's not, the writing just is so good. And yes, I probably have a soft spot for this book because it is the book that sucked me into comics. But it's the book that got me into comics for a reason. Like, I wouldn't have picked up a crappy book and fallen in love with comics, right? So if you like all female teams, this is the book for you. If you don't like the novelty of an all female team, but if you just like well-written books with interesting team dynamics where it's not just like everyone has to get along, this is a book for you. If you like villains that are complicated and menacing and different from the villains that you see in almost every Gotham book, this is a book for you. If you like lots of action pieces, because there's a lot of great artwork that features just excellent fight scenes, this is a book for you. And again, if you like cheesecake art, absolutely the book for you. So I highly recommend this book to anyone. Anytime I know someone who's getting into comics, I pretty much recommend this book to them, lend it to them. Yes, I have lent this book out, even though mine is signed by Ms. Simone herself, who is lovely. I cannot say enough good things about this book. As promised, I will continue to review future eras of Birds of Prey, but I'm going to say this is my favorite, hands down. So thank you for watching. Do all the things. Like, share, subscribe. Please comment. I love interaction. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you're reading. I want to hear what characters you love. I want to hear what you think I should read next. I have a huge list, but I am always looking for suggestions. So I want to hear from you below. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.